Jai Mata Di. Welcome back to our channel Astro Brigu Gyanwani, and we always hope for your prosperity, happiness, and may God always bless you and your family. So, today again I'm here with a very interesting topic, but we are going to talk about a topic in astrology that often sounds confusing to many people: the effect of malefic planets in Ukchaya houses. Now, first of all, before moving on to the our video, in this whole entire video, listen to it carefully from the utmost starting of it, because I will explain you each and everything through the animation shown on the video. You can see what is shown here and how you can match that to your horoscope. So bring your horoscope with yourself as well, because in between we will be going to tell each and every point. You have to match with your horoscope as well. And first of all, I will explain about Ukchay houses, so don't worry that you don't know about them. And yes, we are going to talk about this topic, which is very rare to be heard, and this is obviously written in our ancient scriptures. So without any further delays, let's start this video. First of all, think of a situation. Whenever we talk about any birth chart or in astrology, what comes to your mind first in terms of your horoscope? The 12 houses, the 12 zodiacs, 9 planets, 12 ascendants, and 27 nakshatras, which is 27 constellations. That is basically the core of astrology, which you understand everything. But here the real challenge is, when you look at your horoscope, it's not always crystal clear what house means. Each house has a different meaning in every horoscope. Suppose if a person having fourth house strong, then it can obviously give them or he or she benefit. It can be benefited to them. But for suppose if someone other person has three fourth house, then it might give some challenges to them. They might face some challenges regarding that. So in astrology, not each house meaning is same. If eighth house is considered a house of death, then for some it might also give benefit, because in maybe occult science, some people who have a strong eighth house, rather than looking to the death perspective, we can also see it from occult science. You will have a knowledge of many ancient processes, ancient sadhanas. So these kind of knowledges which are very rare, you will have that if you have eighth house, a strong imposition if your eighth house has. So in each horoscope, each house has a different meaning. Now again, coming back to our topic, the biggest question here is, if malefic planets sit in Ukchay houses, will they create problems or bring benefits? As I told you from the example as well, that for Ukchay houses as well, if someone having any of the Ukchay houses a strong position, or any good planet is sitting there, that Ukchay house has a good planetary position, then obviously it can also give you the benefits. And if it is not, if malefic planet sits there, then obviously you can face few on the others problems. But again, I'm saying no need to worry with that, because we will be going to find the solution as well along with that. And each and every solution is there for each and every position in astrology, so you don't need to worry about that. Now by this you have understood that this is the thing which we are covering today in this video. So first of all, let's understand this more deeply and in simple terms. Now, a birth chart, this is not just a record of this life. I said this in my previous videos as well. Birth chart is also carrying your secrets from your past lives. your karmas from your past life, whatever actions you have done. We all know this. So if you're facing struggles in this life, it's not only because of your present karma, but also due to the baggage from your past life. Now, some people don't really want to know their past lives, but unless and until you won't know your past life, you will not be able to recognize and improve your karmas, which you have maybe done wrong in your past life. And the wrong karma which you have done in your past life obviously can affect your present life. You are maybe facing struggles because of your past life karmas. So that is why knowing your past life is the important thing of your life. Now, astrology, if we go deep in astrology, then obviously you can get exact past life of yourselves, but still there are some key points related to your past life which we can know from few planetary positions, and obviously in the upcoming videos we will also discuss them. So, moving ahead with the topic, the important part is that in your horoscope, your ascendant and your Lagnesh means the lord of your ascendant, represents you. You all know that if you're watching so many astrological videos. So, if any house gets connected with the ascendant, it directly affects your life. Now, let's look at a common question here. Which houses are considered good and which are a bit tricky? See, your ascendant, the lagna of your house of your horoscope, which is your first house, that is considered auspicious first of all. Then the trikon. Trikon means first house, fifth house, and ninth house. This is the trikon. These are also considered auspicious. Then the next thing is Kendra house. Kendra trikon. First, fourth, seventh, and tenth. Then the last one comes your Labdha, which is the house of your income, your wealth, and it is called as 11th house. So these all houses I've mentioned, these are considered very good for yourselves if you have a good kind of planetary position sitting here, and they give us support and ease in the life. But when we talk about Trishade Bhav, now Trishade Bhav, this might be a new word for you. Let me explain. I will explain each and everything to you. Don't worry. Trishade Bhav means the third house, sixth house, and 11th house, and the Upchaya houses, which are third house, sixth house, 10th house, and 11th house. From these houses, people often get scared, and we keep us eighth house aside as of now because our main topic is Upchaya houses. These are also considered a kind of struggling houses, but apart from eighth house, we'll move on. Now the question is, are these houses really negative? Or do they only bring problems? Because many astrologers, if they know about this concept, only highlight that Upche houses are mostly negative, they are very struggling houses, and so on. But here where is a big misunderstanding lies. First of all, moving to the definition of these houses, that are Trishate Bhav and Upchaya Bhav the same? Let's clear that up. You can see that Trishade Bhav, as I said, these are third, sixth, and 11th. This is Trishade Bhav. And on the other hand, Upchay Bhav are there, which are third house, sixth house, 10th house, and 11th house. So you might can see the notice. Most people say Trishade houses are inauspicious. And yes, that's partially true. But in reality, these houses are made for growth. Unless and until you won't face any challenge, then how you can grow from that? How you can learn from your mistakes? How you can learn from your struggles, which are so far? How you can grow without them? You can gain real success from these houses only in astrology, but only after struggle. Nothing here comes easy. This is Kali Yuga. This is Mrityu Lok where we have taken the birth. And here, struggle is the first priority of your life. Now understand this. Among the Trishade Bhav, the third and 11th are also Kam Trikon, which are related to your desires and relationships. Now, by the word Kam Trikon only, you can understand what is the meaning of this. So, third and 11th house are a part of Kam Trikon. On the other hand, the sixth house is a part of Earth Trikon, which is the trikon, which is the triangle of your finance, your financial stability, your money growth. So we will cover these four trikonas as well in other videos, upcoming videos as well. There are four total trikonas, and I'm going to upload that video soon as well. But first of all, let's be clear with this concept. That means these houses also have positive value. Now, Kam Trikon, which is the Trikon of desires and relationships, these are not very much bad. And Artha Trikon, sixth house is the part of Artha Trikon, which is the triangle of your money, then how they can be negative. So we can see and notice that positive values are also being added here. If we go deeper in the factors of this, they are connected to human goals and financial success. That's why we can't always call them inauspicious. Now let's talk about the real power of malefic planets. There's a very solid rule I could say in astrology that when malefic planets sits in Upchai houses, they create massive impact, a really big impact. These planets activate your life with fire and push you towards action. Who are these malefic planets? As I said, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Now, let's understand this simple example. Imagine a gym. Two types of people enter here. The first person just sits in the AC, sips a protein shake, and watches others lift weights but doesn't work out. The second person is in full energy, lifting dumbbells, bells, and sweating with hard work. Now tell me who's will become more stronger. Obviously, the one who's putting in the effort. This is exactly how Upchai houses and malefic planets work. If these planets are placed in Upchai houses, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, and Sun, they will obviously bring challenges. But in return, what are they giving to you? They will also bring real success. Think about it. People like Elon Musk, Virat Kohli, or many big business tycoons, do you think their lives were easy before they were even famous? No, obviously not. But they became successful through struggle. They experimented, they invented many of the things, they tried, they never give up. They faced many struggles, whether it is financial struggle or anything, A to Z anything. So if your birth chart has malefic planets in Upchai houses, then you don't need to worry. That means you already have the fire within you. You just need to take action. So I think by now you must have understood what are these Upchai houses. And be very crystal clear with this that Upchai houses are not always considered bad. Yes, they might give you struggle at some of the cases, but those struggles will also improve yourself, right? So that's why today we go deep into this topic and I'll show you how malefic planets in Upchai houses can become a real, I would say, game changer in your life. And we will mainly discuss about malefic planets here. Now, these malefic, or in astrology, the terminology for this is Krur planets, Krur Greh. So, we will specifically discuss these malefic planets' effect on Upchai houses as of now. And if you want that we will cover the good planets also in Upchai houses, then you feel free to put a comment in the comment section below. So let's start the video. First of all, we will talk about Mars. Now, the very first house of our Ukchay houses is third house. So if Mars is in the third house, then what happens when it says in a Ukchay house like third house? If someone has Mars in third house, then trust me, that person won't bow down to everyone. This placement actually gives a fearless personality to you. Someone who always ready to face any challenges, that is you. Now imagine this. You're playing a cricket match. The opposite team is dominating. But there's one player on your side who has the power to return the whole game around. That is basically the energy of Mars in third house. What is the third house about? As you know, if you must have heard few astrological talks, that it represents a person's courage, confidence, willpower, or we could say taking ability in them. When Mars is placed here, the person stays in a full on warrior mode all the time. Not in a violent way, I could say, but in a mentally strong way. Never afraid of anyone. Now let's understand something interesting about Mars, the aspects of Mars. Now the aspects of Mars are fourth and eighth, which you are going to understand from this. From the third house, Mars aspect is on the sixth house, which is the fourth aspect. If you move forward from third house, fourth house forward from third house, then you will get sixth house. So this gives the ability to defeat enemies and stand strong in front of any opponent. And let's talk about eighth aspect of Mars. Then this eighth aspect goes on 10th house, which means the person will make a big name in the career, not with anyone's support, but with their own hard work, and they will build their own empire. So, if Mars is in the third house, which is being aspected by other malefic planets, there might be some clashes with siblings, especially younger brothers or sisters. So, this needs to be handled carefully. Now, the malefic planets can be the Rahu, Ketu, or Saturn. If these planets are giving aspect to Mars, then obviously it can have some clashes with your siblings or your friends. So, if you manage this properly, this Mars can also become a protector of your siblings. So, you also have a solution, you also have a problem, but you have to choose whichever situation you're going to move forward with. Now, the most interesting part about this position is that you don't like to borrow money, but if you ever take a loan for business or something useful, you are very likely to succeed it. The money will be used properly and the returns will be also great. So, if you have Mars in third house, overall consider yourself lucky because this placement gives you the kind of energy that can lift a person from the ground and help them create their own world. Just to make sure one thing, to channel your aggression in the right direction and then watch how you become a game changer of your life. And this was about Mars in third house. Let's move ahead with the next Ukjay house. The next Ukjay house is sixth house, which is a part of your Earth Tripon. Now, if Mars is placed in sixth house, just understand one thing: this person who have this kind of position doesn't live life in light mode. They're always in fight mode. You don't need to look for enemies. They will show up on their own and you will have the power to defeat them. Now, the biggest advantage of this position is Mars in sixth house has a seventh aspect on ascendant, which is your first house, which means You become physically strong, mentally alert, and full of hyper energy. You literally hate laziness in you and always stay active. Now, Mars already comes with anger and charged position in this house. Why? Because the sixth house represents enemies, competition, diseases, loans, property disputes, or any other disputes as well. So Mars doesn't like any of these. So the moment it enters in this house, it's like it says, whoever come in my way, I'll destroy them. Whether it is your enemy, whether it is your competition, diseases, even your loans. So you actually have a nature to deceive anyone. And you have the nature that I will instantly destroy them without even thinking. So this is your nature. Now the most interesting part about this placement that if Mars is in a strong position, then no enemy can literally dare to face you directly. They may talk behind your back, they backbench yourself, but no one will have the guts to confront you face to face. But if Mars becomes weak in this house, then get ready for a never ending list of problems. Literally saying, to be very honest, one issue after another, loans, health issues, fights, legal troubles, these all problems can be a big mess in your life. That's why it's very important to use this Mars energy in the right direction. So if you have Mars in the sixth house, you don't need to worry about enemies. Just the one thing you have to follow to stay disciplined and focus on your energy properly. And watch how the world starts to recognize your power. Now let's talk about another Upchai house, which is the 10th house. Now, in one simple line, if I could signify you, is that you are born to rule. If you have your Mars in 10th house, it means you are born to be a leader. Such a person doesn't come to be just a part of the crowd. They make their own league, their own legacy. Now think in school. Suppose if I would give an example, there are two types of students. One who is the teacher's favorite and does everything on time. And the second one who becomes popular in school because of their attitude, their dignity. They don't follow rules, they make their own legacy. That's exactly the energy of Mars in the 10th house. Either I will become the leader or I won't let anyone else become one. This is your nature. Now understand its power. You have the directional strength. Mars here is also said to be have a Digbali position. Digbala in 10th house means Mars is in full power here. If Mars is strong, the person will always shine in fields like police, military, IS, IPS, politics, or business, any sector related to government or where you need logical thinking. So, simply put, the person is born to be a boss. Now, let's see from the Mars perspective, from the Mars aspects. The first aspect is on the first house itself, which is your ascendant. This means strong personality is there. The face will have a bold vibe full of aggression, confidence, and power. And people may feel nervous just by facing you. Now, another aspect on fourth house. This is a bit tricky. There can be some aggression at home as well, which is unnecessary at some times, especially some conflict with the mother. But one thing is for sure that this person will earn money through real estate or property. Now, another last aspect of Mars is on fifth house. Eighth aspect is going from 10th house to fifth house. This means a super sharp mind. No confusion is making decisions, and the person you will have a high risk. high reward mindset. You will think logically and practically in studies too, but may have a short temper as well. Now, the most important point here is if Mars is strong, this person who has 10th house Mars will bring honor to the family, to the entire family, I would say. It's said once in every three generations, a child is born who makes the whole family proud. That child is this one, means you. But if Mars is weak, then there can be career problems, there can be issues with father, and there can be unnecessary ego troubles as well. So if Mars is in your 10th house, become a boss, but don't be afraid. Make your own rules, but let others follow them. And use your aggression in the right place, not in the wrong place. And then watch how success chases you. Now let's talk about the next Upchair house, which is considered the last Upchair house of that concept, which is your 11th house. Now again I'm saying that I am as of now we will go in the flow. First I have discussed about Mars and all the Upchair houses. Then I will discuss about Shani, the Saturn placement in these Upchair houses, then Rahu, then your sun and everything. We will go line by line. So don't think that this video will not cover all the malefic planets, right? It will, but you have to watch entire video so that you can understand. Now, coming back to our topic, Mars in the 11th house. Basically, this position means a money making factor, a money making factory. This person who has kind of this placement has such a powerful ability to earn money that people wonder what exactly does he or she do. But the truth is, this person knows how to earn and turn any money making opportunity into success. They don't just earn slowly, they pull money towards themselves by building business, by building multiple income sources, and literally attracting wealth. Basically, Mars in the 11th house is your king of growth. This person always rises higher than before. This person becomes a better version of themselves every day. You increase your income every year, finds a way to make money in every situation and every multiple sources you can. So if Mars is strong and placed in your 11th house, then just know this thing that it can rain money in your life, but still there are some rules and regulations to that. So first of all, let's see the benefits of strong Mars in 11th house. Again, I'm saying strong Mars. It's not if you have weak Mars, then obviously you will have some struggles and you can't directly connect to these all the pointers. So, if you have a strong Mars, then multiple sources of income can be built here. Huge money can be built in real estate, and people like you will come forward to help. You know how to build connections and can even use friendships to make money. Now, a bit as kind of reality check that if Mars is weak again, then money will come, but the money will go away just as fast as it comes. You can take wrong decisions and you can easily fall into greed. You can take unnecessary risks, which can obviously lead to the loss of money. So you have to think before moving ahead and taking any step in your life. If so, overall, I would say that if Mars is in your 11th house, grow your network, connect with people. This is your biggest strength. Create new sources of income. You should have multiple sources of income at a time, but don't depend only on a job or only at a kind of only business. Be smart in investments as well and take the right decisions and don't be greedy and lazy. So this was about Mars itself. We have till now talked about Mars in these Upchaya houses. But moving forward, as I said, we will be going to talk about all the malefic planets. Now let's talk about Saturn, which is called Shani. Now, first of all, let's move ahead with Saturn in the third house. If Saturn is sitting in the third house, then literally and honestly saying that forget the dream of an easy life. Because the moment Saturn arrives here, he says, work hard or forget about the results. And that's why here I would give you also a kind of motivation that in Bhagavad Gita, there's a saying, there's a shloka that karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Means you do your hard work, you do your work without thinking of the results. Obviously, if you will do that, you will get a satisfying results. But don't think of the results and don't underestimate yourselves. Suppose if you're going for any exam and if you're thinking and underestimating yourself that you can't do that, the paper will be very difficult or something, then by focusing on that point itself, you can't do your paper properly. So that's why here Saturn says you work hard and forget about the results. Now let's talk about the effect of Saturn in this house. Basically, the patience and perseverance is mandatory here. You can't take shortcuts here, but success lies in being constant. Slow but steady growth will be there. Progress will be obviously slow, but once this person who have this position rises, the world will take a notice on them. Struggles make you stronger as well. You face every challenge and come out like an Iron Man. And a lot goes on inside in your mind or in your heart, but your face won't show it. This is your nature. Now, Saturn loves slow and steady people. You must have heard this. Those who move ahead only through hard work, without again thinking of a good result or a bad result or underestimating themselves, if I could say in clear words. So, now a little reality check up. अगर if suppose relationship with younger siblings might go through ups and downs in this position. Early life may be full of struggles. You will need patience in everything or frustration can be built up. But the real fun comes here is around the age of 25 or between 30. Real growth starts showing. Once success begins, there's no looking back. Saturn here will give, but only after he's sure that you truly deserve it or you're truly prepared for it. So, if Saturn is in your third house, learn that patience and consistency, which are the real keys of your life. There will be no shortcuts, there will be no such procedures, and don't think that you will not have any struggle. You will have to put in the efforts to go ahead from them. There's no option to run from the struggle. So it's better to accept it and move forward. Now let's talk about another interesting placement of Saturn and another Upchaya house, which is your sixth house. Now you know that sixth house is of enemies, debt, loans, diseases, disputes, fights, and all of that. If Saturn is placed in sixth house, then these all factors, these all sectors will eventually run away and tired of troubling of you. You will just need some time and effort. Here basically Saturn says don't worry. I've get you on your back. I've got your back. Just keep working hard. Everything else will fall apart on its own. So how Saturn works in the sixth house? Anyone who plots against you will fall into their own trap. Because here Saturn is also considered Shatruhanta. You took a loan, Maybe slowly, but you will repay it for sure. Or maybe got sick. It might seem serious at first, but it won't last long. Now the real impact of Saturn is in the third house is no one can defeat you using unfair means. Unless and until you have done that. Great success in legal fields will also be there, which is 100% guaranteed. If you do hard work with utmost consistency, stability in jobs, businesses, or especially in government sectors is must. And if you are a lawyer, a judge, or in any legal profession, or you want to go in that field, then Saturn becomes your special supporter here. Now, again, a little bit reality check that if Saturn is weak here or exalted here, the things won't come easily. You must have experienced that. You should have patience in yourselves to face those things in your life. Everything will come a little late, but it will come. It's not like it will not, but it will come. You might always feel a bit of stress, but nothing can break you permanently. So, if Saturn is in a third house, you don't need to fear of enemies. Just keep hard working and just ignore your enemies. That's the only solution of your life. If you have a biggest problem as your enemies. And same goes for the loans and for the death, your diseases, everything. Basically, Saturn here says that if you're hardworking, then nothing can stop your success. Saturn will alone come to you and give you the success which you have hard worked for. Now let's talk about Saturn in 10th house. 10th house is the next Upjay house. So Saturn is sitting here, then what does it mean? We can understand from this position that you will get a success, a bigger success, but not on discount. You will have to pay the full price through hard work. If your dream is to become the owner of a big company, own a big business on a big scale, earn crores of money, and become famous, then Saturn says here that yes, you can, obviously. But first, you have to complete the full syllabus of the struggle. Obviously, this is Mrityulok and this is Kali Yuga where we are living. Without struggle, you can't move ahead. No planet can move you forward without struggle. Struggles is the main key in your life if you're born in Mrityulok. So, in the 10th house, Saturn works exactly like a movie hero. Someone who starts off in poverty but slowly rises to top through hard work. Now, the real impact of Saturn in the 10th house is it gives stability in career, but nothing comes quickly. Don't expect that you are doing hard work, then instantly you will get the result of it. And the bigger the dream is that the harder you will have to work for to achieve your dreams is the main point here which you have not note in this position. So if you don't give up, Saturn will take you to the top in the life, obviously. Now again, there's a some kind of reality check. If Saturn is weak here again, then laziness, you will have some kind of laziness, and here you have to avoid that. When Saturn is in the 10th house, then laziness is not obviously allowed. 10th house is itself the house of hard work, other than career and other sectors. Then you have to work hard to achieve your dreams, to achieve each and everything, even to achieve a meal of one time, a chapati, you have to work for yourselves. And obviously, delays will happen in everything, but success is guaranteed. You may face office politics if you're doing any job or something, but you will win in the end. So, final verdict is you have to be unstoppable in life. Obstacles will come, but you have to challenge them and be a challenger for your challenges. That's the one thing which you have to remember. Talking about 11th house, if Saturn is placed in 11th house, then you know that 11th house is of money, growth, wealth, income, and all of that, and as your friends as well. So understand this thing, if Saturn is in your 11th house, that money will come but a little late. Again, the same situation applies here. You will have income, but you won't become rich very quickly. If your dream is to earn crores of money, drive a BMW car or a Lamborghini, and build a strong balance, yes, it will happen. But first, you must learn experience. Means you have to go through the struggles. In the 11th house, Saturn works like a late bloomer. Someone who lives in a normal life in the beginning, but once they start earning, they become unstoppable. The real game of Saturn in the 11th house is it will give money, but only after some time. Income will be stable, obviously. It will be stable, but only with consistency. For those who have hard work and patience, Saturn can turn them into a king. So, a kind of precautions you can follow here is that if suppose your Saturn is weak or exalted here, then you also have to follow some kind of precautions. So basically, first of all, don't rush or the money will slip away just when it's about to come. And there will be always initial struggles in your life, but you will enjoy the results later. And lastly, be careful in investments when you're doing any investment, whether in share market or in loans or in some credits or something. You might lose if you made an hurry up decision or a wrong decision. So think, research, and then take a final decision. So if Saturn is in the 11th house overall, just be patient, nothing else is needed. Success and wealth will definitely come into your feed. Just not instantly, but guaranteed is guarantee is there with you that it will come if you do hard work and consistency is there in your work. So this was about Saturn, the effect of Saturn in these all Ukchaya houses. But now let's talk about Rahu, which is another malefic planet in your horoscope in the astrology. So, first of all, let's talk about Rahu in third house. If Rahu is placed in your third house, then you are obviously a born risk taker. You know how to use your brain more than just hard work, and you will have that strong attitude that do whatever you want, I will make my own path. If you want to achieve big success, then become before taking shortcuts, you will have to work smart. So be clever and strategic when you're working. Another thing, Rahu in third house means you are born intelligent. You are a communication king. You will be a smart speaker, whether it's in the politics or business or anything in any sector. And you can become an expert in art forms without formal training like acting, hacking, dancing, singing, art and craft, editing, creative arts, anything which are related to art, something creative. And you will be a legend in hand based skills mostly. You could become a chef or you could be good in making a kind of delicious food. Then you can be a gamer, a tech genius, or master in any skilled work. You will see things differently. This is the most important point about yourself. Where others says this is not possible, you will say just watch me how I do it. Now, some precautions are here along with that. You may suddenly take big risks and get trapped in them. So, before moving on to any risk, you have to think about it. Every risk or every side has two perspectives. One is good, one is bad. So, you have to think about it. That if you're taking a risk, then what will be the aspect of future and what will be the aspect of your other things and what is the aspect of present. Another thing, you can get too deep into shortcuts, which may lead to losses sometimes. So, you have to avoid shortcuts many times. And lastly, there may be some problems with younger siblings, or maybe weak relationships with them. Or maybe sometimes, so for some people, it's seen that siblings itself, or even any brother, a younger or elder brother itself becomes your enemy. So here you have to be very careful with that. If it is the same thing with you as well, then you can avoid that person in your life and stay far away from that person. Now let's talk about Rahu in sixth house. Quickly, let's cover it up. If in Rahu is in your sixth house, then you are obviously a born leader, a born fighter, and this Rahu is a destroyer of enemies. Yes, enemies will be obviously there because sixth house is itself a house of enemies, loans, debts, disputes, fights, and all of these things. But you won't even need to do much. You don't even need to focus on your enemies much. Otherwise, it will distract your success and your career. Your enemies will obviously panic on their own and fall apart without you lifting a finger. Now, what does sixth house Rahu gives you? Automatic protection from enemies. You win without even trying. Next thing, this placement is best for competitive exams as well. Your mind is naturally sharp and strategic, so you can achieve any competitive field or any governmental job as well. Now, this position also makes you hardworking and determined. You learn how to face any challenges, and this position gives you fearless personality. Means you can handle any tough situation with ease. But if Rahu is weak or exalted, then what problems can happen? That enemies won't leave you. You may get stuck in legal issues or court cases. You may have health problems, maybe through enemies or maybe through anything. A to Z. Constant stress is will be there about illness. You can fall into debt, a huge debt. And one more very important thing is that this Rahu also aspects the 12th house. So if it's weak, it can lead to police troubles, maybe a prison, or even being caught in a major scam. So final thought is that the calmer you stay, the more your enemies will panic. If Rahu is in your sixth house, then your real power is winning battles without even fighting with them. Mostly people say that Rahu in sixth house is considered very auspicious, very good placement it is of Rahu. But yes, they are partially correct. And I would also personally say that yes, you have many benefits associated with this placement. But again, Rahu is a malefic planet. It is in astrology we call them as Chaya Grah, means Rahu is the planet of pollution. To make you even more better, he will you will come across with some challenges, and Rahu will be the one who will make you face that. So, I would say not every placement of Rahu, even in 12, all the 12 houses of your horoscope, is not considered good in any of the houses. It is a Chaya Grah, a malefic planet, a planet of illusion. During the Mahadasha of Rahu, you will obviously face many problems, even if you have a very good Rahu in sixth house or third house or anything. Now let's talk about Rahu in 10th house. Rahu in 10th house basically a complete game changer, I could say. And if it's strong, then it can give you fame, property, money, business, everything. But if it's weak, then it brings nothing but struggles. If every person, suppose with Rahu in 10th house, became a leader, then why would there will be a such long line of people fighting election? So understand this thing. This position is kind of neutral, but don't underestimate yourself. Just having Rahu here doesn't mean you you will automatically become an MP or any minister. But yes, if conditions are right, then fast growth in politics or government sectors would be there. Potential to become a CEO of any company, either start your own company or work under a big brand can be there. Another thing, you can rise from the streets to the parliament if other planets also supports, and sudden career blast will be there. Career basically may start slow, but you can become famous all of a sudden. So basically, I could say this is feels just like a Shark Tank level success. But if this Rahu is weak, then your career can be a total mess. Total. Office politics and unnecessary controversies will be there. Clashes with your boss, no recognition for your work, bad reputation without any real reason, and weak relationship with your father, your parents, and you struggle in your life. This all these all things can be there. So Rahu in the 10th house will either betray you or shake the whole world full. It's in your hands how to handle this position of Rahu. You have to work with the mindset of Rahu. How Rahu will make you face the struggles and how you will make your struggles make your challenges to you. So the final thought here is, if you want to be a boss, then keep Rahu under control. If Rahu is in your 10th house, just remember one thing, don't take wrong shortcuts, or it will give you infamy, not fame. But if you choose the right path, your career will take off like a rocket. So remember this thing at the utmost level. Now let's talk about the last chair house of this entire concept. If Rahu is placed in your 11th house, and this position basically means a total money magnet for yourself. Here, you naturally develop the skill to earn money by any means, one way or another. Money finds its way to you. First, what does the 11th house represent? It it is the house of income, friends, your elder siblings, and long-term gains. So if Rahu sits here, one thought constantly runs through your mind: how do I make more money? Rahu in the 11th house means no fixed rule to make money. Be it affiliate marketing or stock marketing, trading, you can earn in these all areas. You will have multiple sources of income. Not just one, but many streams of money will be there. You will love taking this for sure. Sometimes even uh, gambling, battling, or crypto might attract you a lot. But I would suggest not to go in that case because that will obviously harm you at few of the sectors. You can also earn big profits through real estate and property deals. So if Rahu is strong, you can be a kind of amazing negotiator in any field. You will know exactly how to close a deal. But again, let's talk about negative impacts of Rahu as well. Sticking to good effects will not give us any solution as well. So, if Rahu goes bad in this 11th house, money may come and disappear instantly. Today you earn, tomorrow it's gone. Every deal might have some trick or betrayal, and you might get tempted to earn illegal money. There could be conflicts with elder siblings or close friends. So, a total relatable example I could say, so there was a guy who invested in crypto. One day, his 10,000 turned into 5 lakh. Next day, he started dreaming of turning it into 50 lakh. He got greedy and ended up losing the full entire 5 lakh. So, if Rahu is in the 11th house, understand from this example that be smart or the money will come and go like water. So, if you want to play the money game, play it wisely. If Rahu is in your 11th house, you will have endless money making ideas. Just don't fall into greed or choose illegal paths, or this Rahu can take you from high to rock bottom. Jai Mata Di.